Good afternoon. Welcome to Jim Munley's World of Weather. Clicked on to long range weather forecast discussion for June 20th through July 2nd. The period for June 20th to the 24th. Miles in agreement on the flow. We have this fairly strong ridge, excuse me, over the west to the southern plains. Here we have a trough here south of the Aleutians. We also have another trough here over the upper Mississippi Valley, Great Lakes. And we have a ridge here of the Canadian Maritimes and the Western Atlantic. Miles of good agreement, and we start here at the 20th and we go to the end of the period, which would be the 24th. We see a little change in overall circulation, perhaps some strengthening of this ridge here, 594 DM ridge over the southwest. Excuse me. And we look at the rest of the models, they're in good agreement. Excuse me. Models are not in agreement, though, however, and tropical development in the Gulf. The Canadian, the GFS, and its ensembles track any potential system towards the central Gulf Coast by Tuesday, while the UK Met, the European, and its ensembles track the system westward towards eastern Mexico. The GEFS and the European individual ensemble members each cluster around their domestic runs, and the GFS and the European are both possible solutions. Excuse me. The upper ridge in the west will result in possible record heat with highs in the 110s and 120s are forecast. Heavy rainfall are forecast for the Gulf Coast states depending on the possible development and track of a tropical system. Heavy rain and thunderstorms will also be possible for the middle Mississippi Valley into the Ohio Valley. June 23rd to 27th. Here we are the 25th. Still forecasting a ridge here over the west into the southern plains. We still have our trough here over the upper Mississippi Valley and the Great Lakes. Foot almost looks zonal here. We also have a ridge here over the Canadian Maritimes and the Western Atlantic. And we go to the 27th. We see not much change. Perhaps the flattening of the flow here. Here's our subtropical ridge across southern U.S. And we take a look at the rest of the models, and they're good agreement on this. So during this forecast period, I'm forecasting above normal temperatures here, and anomalies are forecast to be 12 degrees above normal at least. Below normal temperatures. Now, I don't think the below normal temperatures here will be as widespread here, especially across the northeast mid-Atlantic. I think it might be a little more confined to this area here, west of that line. So during this forecast, I think the below normal temperatures will be more like that. So within this area, forecasting anomalies to be about 4 degrees below normal for precipitation. Forecasting below normal precipitation for the northwest to central northern Rockies, and above normal precipitation is forecast for the southeast, the mid-Atlantic, and the northeast. The period for June 28th through July 2nd. Period of the 28th. Most of the models are indicating de-amplification of the flow. The ridge in the west will be flatter and perhaps weaken here. And the GFS and ensembles are forecasting a weak trough in the east, and I'll show you that. Let me see, I'm going to July 2nd. Here is the GFS, a little bit of a trough here. And then we look at its ensembles, a little bit of a weak trough here too. So during this forecast period, forecasting above normal temperatures from the plains to the Pacific coast, and they are forecasting anomalies to be about 8 degrees, of at least 8 degrees above normal. And again, I think that the temperature outlook might be more, I'm picking like maps closer like this. So anything west of this line would be below normal, and I'll forecast anomalies of 2 to 4 degrees below normal. And for precipitation, below normal precipitation forecast for the northwest Northern Rockies, Southern Plains, Lower Mississippi Valley, and we have above normal precipitation forecast for portions of the Great Lakes and the Northeast. Now we're going to talk tropical. Historical tropical development is possible with a tropical wave located east-southeast of the southern Windward Islands, and if this occurs, this will be the second time since 1851 that this has occurred, and the disturbance hasn't changed much since yesterday. However, some development is expected during the next 2 to 3 days. I'm going to look at the models here. Let me see. Okay, I'm going to go forward. We're going to look at the tropical. This is European deterministics, vorticity and winds and knots. And let me see. Here's our system here. And we're going to watch that. And you can also see our other system that we're watching here near the Yucatan. You can't see that much, but I'm going to look at that in a minute here. Getting close to that. Here's our other tropical system. Here it is right here. And as of this afternoon, a broad area of low pressure has formed over the Gulf of Honduras, associated with showers and convection are showing signs of organization, and continued gradual development is expected as the system moves slowly northwestward across the Yucatan Peninsula during the remainder of the weekend, and a tropical cyclone is likely to form early next week over the southern and central Gulf of Mexico. And we're going to watch this a little bit more. This is on Wednesday, and see how it kind of like tracks off to the northwest. I'm going to go back a little bit. And I'm going to go forward. See general west, northwest towards South Texas and eastern Mexico. So stay tuned. That's a long-range weather forecast discussion for June 20th through July 2nd. Thanks for coming to Jim Only's World of Weather, and have a good day.